We simply must have faith in each other, faith in our ability to govern ourselves, and faith in the future of this nation. There should be an honest attempt at the reconciliation of differences, before resorting to combat. Wherever life takes us, there are always moments of wonder. Because we are free, we can never be indifferent to the fate of freedom elsewhere. Our values are not luxuries but necessities. They are not the salt in our bread, but the bread itself. By acting now, we can control our future instead of letting the future control us. You always get back much more than you give. If you fear making anyone mad, then you ultimately probe for the lowest common denominator of human achievement. Whether the borders that divide us are picket fences or national boundaries, we are all neighbors in a global community. Human identity is no longer defined by what one does, but rather by what one owns. The bond of our common humanity is stronger than the divisiveness of our fears and prejudices. Unless both sides win, no agreement can be permanent. I am not anybody's boss. I want to be everybody's servant. We must adjust to changing times, and still hold to unchanging principles. We become not a melting pot, but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams. You can do what you have to do, and sometimes you can do it even better than you think you can. The measure of a society is found in how they treat their weakest and most helpless citizens. Like music and art, love of nature is a common language that can transcend political or social boundaries. Life is just too short to go quail hunting with the wrong people. To be true to ourselves, we must be true to others. Everyone has a right to peaceful coexistence, the basic personal freedoms, the alleviation of suffering, and the opportunity to lead a productive life. America did not invent human rights. In a very real sense, human rights invented America. To me, faith is not just a noun, but also a verb. I have one life and one chance to make it count for something. We'll never know whether something new and wonderful is possible unless we try. Whatever starts in California, unfortunately, has an inclination to spread. My proudest accomplishment was that I never dropped a bomb, fired a bullet, or shot a missile. Aggression unopposed becomes a contagious disease. If you're totally illiterate and living on $1 a day, the benefits of globalization never come to you. Our income tax system is a disgrace to the human race. Iran is an island of stability in a turbulent corner of the world. Human rights is the soul of our foreign policy, because human rights is the very soul of our sense of nationhood. I have often wanted to drown my troubles, but can't get my wife to go swimming. The awareness that health is dependent upon habits that we control makes us the first generation in history that to a large extent determines its own destiny. The more drastic action taken by the president, the more popular it is. Everyone who has run knows that its most important value is in removing tension and allowing a release from whatever other cares the day may bring. I've committed adultery in my heart. Too many of us now tend to worship self-indulgence and consumption. The best way to enhance freedom in other lands is to demonstrate here that our democratic system is worthy of emulation. It's not necessary to fear the prospect of failure, but to be determined not to fail. You cannot divorce religious belief and public service. I've never detected any conflict between God's will and my political duty. If you violate one, you violate the other. The drug culture has shaped at least one major change since the 60s. It became the basis for overloading our prisons. America has no functioning democracy at this moment.